and you pick up your size and it doesn't fit, and then you go to another shop and you pick up your size and it doesn't fit, and then you get the size larger and it still doesn't fit, and size larger and it doesn't fit.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a place where we talk all things thrifty and sustainable, but most importantly today is super exciting because we're talking all things plus size thrifting with beautiful Annika.
Hello. So I grew up thrifting, I love thrifting, but for a lot of plus size women it can be really frustrating and just not a great experience. I think you have to learn how to thrift, especially when you're plus size, because there's no standard Australian sizing. So, one size can be, 3 centimeters larger than the other one, and they're labeled the same. And it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And a lot of the women, whilst I'm not plus size technically myself, I'm definitely curvy, but a lot of the women in my community will ask me to do more content based around plus size with thrifting, because I think there's this interesting sort of cross section or intersection now where we're becoming really aware of what fashion is doing to the planet. We're getting more into thrifting and being sustainable, which I know is important to you as well.
Yes.
And that's why I was so excited to connect with you, because it's the perfect balance of really honoring your size and your shape, but trying to honor Mother Nature as well. And that's not easy. And this is why, a lot of plus size women, I imagine, still do shop fast fashion.
Yeah.
Because you can't find anything in mainstream or thrifting, right?
Exactly. And there's really no other options, So you see some brands that are starting to go up to a size 20 and think that, they should be completely praised for it. They're the greatest brand ever. But, what about, your friends or yourself who's a size 20 to a 30 or above,
Yeah.
Everyone deserves clothing. Everyone deserves to feel good in their clothing. And why have we typically reserved it for the smaller sizes?
It's such a good question. I'm seeing with plus size women in my community who do want to thrift, but they're feeling frustrated because they're not finding their sizes. But is that why you got into thrifting? Because you did find a sense of freedom? I know for me, even at my size, I love that I don't worry so much about the sizing. So is that kind of what got you into it, or being sustainable generally?
Yeah. Well, so I grew up thrifting in America, where I'm from, with my family. And then as, I became an adult and you're finding your style, I think that I got into it just for the creativity side of it.
Yeah.
I was finding things that you couldn't find at the shops, and that, I could turn into something else or make a cut here, and it became this super cool garment that, everyone asked where I got it, and you just can't replicate it. When you go to the shops and you pick up your size and it doesn't fit, and you go to another shop and you pick up your size and it doesn't fit, and then you get the size larger and it still doesn't fit, and size larger and it doesn't fit, and it's just such a frustrating experience. And so when I go thrifting, if I find something that's not my size, oh well, it's just not the one for me. And so I don't really get that kind of sadness that comes with not being able to find your size, because chances are that's just the one pair of jeans or the one top that's available here out of, however many. And, oh well, just wasn't meant for me today.
I love that. That's really powerful that it's had that effect on you. And I feel the same because it just has helped me remove judgment. And I think, when I thrift, I definitely don't worry about the sizes. Everything in this thrift store is sized, but I don't take any notice of it.
Well, so that actually brings us into the thing that we'll be talking about today, which is 5 tips to help you as a plus size woman in op shops and thrift stores, and help you have a better experience and to know kind of what to look out for in order to, find those really great gems of pieces.
So tip number 1 is throw the sizing out the window.
Exactly. Sizing doesn't matter. So I've got pieces in my closet that are a size 6 and a size 26. And, the number doesn't actually matter, but what matters is they fit me beautifully and I feel great in all of the pieces. And that's just, it's perfect. That's all that really matters.
And has that made you feel so much better?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
When I'm not really focused on the sizing, yes, obviously most of my closet is going to be filled with the 16, 18, 14, 20 mark. It's like a bell curve. But other than that, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that speaks so much to the nature of thrifting anyway, because as you say, there's not 10 of the one thing. So even if you like something, chances are it might not fit you. But then that moment when you do find something that fits you beautifully, and it's so, I don't know, it's so special.
It is.
But it's really taught me to be patient and to also just be more kind of kinder to myself and more accepting of, you know, my shape and the fact that I am curvier than I used to be. And, you know, it's just really helped me to not look at those things. It's been really powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you find that with that approach, that you do find a lot of stuff because you're kind of not as hung up on it? Or,
yes, definitely. And I think that if I, find a piece that is, going to be far too small, but I love it, it still gives me that little inspiration to look out for those pieces in the future, or look out for, a color scheme, or, if I've got a color combination in my mind that I just really need to, create, and I've kind of seen it in a garment, that will help me, make other outfits from that one piece that didn't fit. I wasn't going to buy it, but now I've got this whole other world of openings just from that one visual opportunity. So elaborating on my first tip of, don't worry about the sizing, it also comes hand in hand with, don't just go to your labeled size at the thrift stores.
Totally.
So I found this skirt. It is like a dark gray, and it has like a little shiny thread through it, super warm, very stretchy. It's labeled a size large. And when I hold it up and kind of try it on and see how it stretches, I reckon this would fit about a size 20 to 22. The interesting thing is that I actually found this in the size 10 section.
There you go, which just shows you look everywhere and don't worry, as you say, about your section. Don't just look in the plus size section. Look everywhere, because things get moved around in thrift stores all the time. I've found things in the most random sections. Found things in the kids section, the haberdashery, something hanging in the furniture that I love. Like, it's the nature of the beast here, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thrill of the hunt.
Yeah. Tip number 2, my lovely.
Yes, so second tip for plus size thrifting is to get to know your fabrics and the feel of the fabric, and specifically how they stretch. Some will have no stretch whatsoever. Some of them are going to have a lot of stretch. So I picked up this skirt. It's labeled a size 16, and it's kind of got like a really nice like suede material at the front, and then more of a kind of stretchy compressive material at the back. So this is labeled a size 16, but with the stretch of it and with how it's made and how it's cut, I reckon this could fit up to about a 20. 18 to 20, because of the stretch, and because it's kind of that compressive material, it's going to be kind of like a little built-in shapewear. So it's also going to be very firming and just fit really nice and snug against the body. So get to know your fabrics, because sometimes, something that's labeled as 16 but is really stretchy may just fit you.
And was it thrifting that taught you more about fabrics? Like, did you just go in and touch stuff and just feel different materials?
Yeah, pretty much, so just going through the racks and feeling the materials, and also just, shopping through life, you kind of start to see patterns in how fabrics wear and tear. So, a lot of knits have a lot more pilling the more that you wear them. Leather can sometimes crack if you don't take care of it properly. Even just linens. Linen is very interesting in plus size fashion, as we know, simply because, I don't have a thigh gap. My legs rub together when I walk, and no matter how high quality the linen is, it's going to pill, and it's going to start thinning, specifically in the inner thigh area. So sometimes I really only buy linen secondhand, because I know that if I buy it, firsthand, it's just gonna, start to deteriorate quicker. So if I buy it secondhand, it's still using a piece that I still love wearing, but it's secondhand, so it's just that little bit better.
For tip number 3, we are in our spiritual haven. Sorry, boys, but the men's section is a total vibe.
It is.
We're stealing all your stuff, basically, because like it's a free size situation, right?
It is, and like you said, it's such a gold mine. And I think that if you have it in your head of, oh, that's the men's section, and I identify as a woman, so I can't shop in that section. Why not?
Right. I don't worry about gender at all. Clothes don't have a gender. It's just we've decided that they do, but they don't. And I think for plus size women, this is such a great spot because things just hit different.
They do.
Yeah.
And men's clothing is made different as well. So you're going to have more room in the shoulders. How many of us hate the button popped over the bust?
Oh my God, that does my head in. It happens all the time.
I hate it. But so men's, button-ups, they're going to have that extra bit of room so you don't have to worry about that. I've got larger arms, and so sometimes it's harder for me to find, button-ups or jackets that fit well against the arms and aren't too tight around my back so I can actually move. I've actually just found this in the men's section here. It is brand new with tags, and it has a really cute, little white pinstripe going through it.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it's just a really easy throw on. Imagine this in summer over a little crop top and shorts.
Yep.
It's just great. And men's section. Oh, well.
I think men's clothes look really sexy on women. If we're talking about gender here, but I think it's more flattering. The shape it looks cooler. I know that's a bit of a kind of overused word, but I feel like they do look cool. As opposed to, especially t-shirts as well. Women's t-shirts, not a fan. I don't like that tight cap sleeve situation. I don't like the neckline. It just doesn't, I don't think it looks cute.
Even the quality, I find men's t-shirts, even from the same store, are of a far higher quality than women's t-shirts are.
It's true. And the good thing about thrifting men's t-shirts is that you can find, first of all, the great oversized vibe, but they look worn, some of them will look worn in, so they'll look vintage, or you can find vintage t-shirts at a fraction of the price that you would from a vintage, store.
Yes.
And I like to kind of play around with them. So I'll roll up the sleeves, or I'll, twist them, put a little knot at the front to make it more kind of crop, or you can just tuck it under your bra if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I noticed that you like crop tops and things that show off your midsection.
Yes. My favorite way to wear a button-up or shirt like this, it might be a little bit bulky on this, but so you take your two sides of your top, take them one in each hand, twist them over once, twist them over again, and then tuck the ends into your bra. And then with a little adjustment,
This is cool.
you have this cute little, crop top button-up situation.
That looks gorge.
And it just adds a little bit of definition, a little bit of a cheeky crop if you want. And it
Yeah.
stays all day because it's tucked into your bra, and you don't have to worry about, having to retuck it into your pants. And this is how I wear all of my button-ups. I love it.
I love that. Something else that's fun is you can button two button-ups together. So if you take two button-up, button-downs, whatever we call it, collared shirts, whatever you want to call them, you can actually use the buttons from one to do up the other one, and then you've got this supersized shirt, and then you can do whatever the hell you want. You could wrap it around yourself, you could turn it into a one-shouldered top.
Oh my goodness.
You could turn it into a bustier and tuck the sleeves. I will pin as with brooches to kind of show it off. I've used these shirts as to create a skirt as well. So I'll fold the collars over a belt. I'll put some images up on the screen so you can see, but I'll just wear a slip dress or, kind of a modesty skirt or something underneath, and then have the belt as my anchor, and then I just drape the collars over. And I love that you can see the sleeves. I think that looks cool. I like that kind of upcycled vibe anyway. But yeah, it's just material for me.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Just play with it.
Yeah, and you're not going to find this kind of oversized, slouchy, loungy vibe really in the women's section.
No, you won't, for sure. And even though that's become the trend now, I think that's the other great thing about thrifting is that if you want to tap into trends, if that's something that's important to you, you can find them all here. And the men's will have that oversized, like Frankie shop and, you know, all that kind of vibe that we're seeing sort of from mainstream fashion. And then right up into high fashion is that oversized look. Saint Laurent has those big oversized coats now. Look in the men's section. Blazers for me as well. We could literally talk about the men's section for like all day. We could do a whole video just about the men's section.
We could.
But this is another example of like oversized blazers and thrifting them, no matter your size, because this was 2. And I found them both on the discount rack. They're both men's, and they're natural fibers, which was rare. This is 100% bamboo, which I've not seen before on a jacket. I know, it's random, right? And this is wool. This was a little sort of tight on me as the one jacket, and so I had my dressmaker cut them up the middle, and like, look at the back of it.
Wow.
It's just so cool, and it's one of a kind, and it's really sort of, I made my own size. You know?
Yeah, I love it.
So I think that's, you know, for plus size girls, I think that's a cool idea as well. Like, just create your own bloody size, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And thrifting is inexpensive for the most part, so you can just really control your own destiny.
Exactly. You can try different things if you want, because at the end of the day, you're not buying new, you're not adding to, you know, the clothes that are already out there.
Yeah.
And just try it and have fun.
Yeah. I love this on you. This is so cute. I'm going to do that. It's really cute.
Super easy.
Yeah, I love it.
Even that couch right there is really cool.
I know, right? Wow. We get such good stuff.
Yeah. Thinking about getting an extra baggage bag, you know?
Well, we sell suitcases too.
Hey!
Tip number 4, my lovely. What do you want to say?
So I want to say that you should always check the haberdashery craft section,
Speaking my language, girl.
because that is the place for true creativity to shine.
Yes.
There's so much that you can do, and don't be afraid of a pair of scissors, even going to your local craft store and getting maybe some fringe, some fabric glue. You don't even need a sewing machine. You know, fabric glue, fabric tape, it's a couple bucks, fringe, a couple bucks, and there's so many cool things that you can do with it that truly make it one of a kind and that really just speaks to you.
I love that. And do you want to tell the good people what you did with some cowboy boots? Because this is a great tip for plus size girls or for anyone who has bigger calves.
Yes. So I find that a lot of boots just aren't made for wide calves. And I really wanted a pair of cowboy boots. And one of my friends had given me an old pair of hers, and they didn't quite fit, but I loved them. So all I did was I cut down the back seam into the V shape of the boot, and then I fabric glued some fringe down both sides, and it just made this really fun kind of a, not quite flowy, but it was still long fringe, and just this cool moment of cowboy boots that fit me beautifully, and they were just really cool.
And you know what's even cooler about that is that you took back your power and you took control of your own destiny. Just because the industry wasn't serving you didn't mean that you couldn't have that look. You made it your own.
Yeah.
And I feel like thrifting really ignites that necessity is the mother of all invention kind of mantra or like way of thinking, right? Because it's like, instead of getting upset about it or feeling like you don't fit in, you just make your own bloody rules and you know, start your own trend. And I feel like you're seriously onto something there. There could be like, you could produce your own range, you know, of like upcycled boots. Like, I just think that's such a genius way of looking at it.
I would love that, because there's so many women out there that as soon as I posted a picture and the video of me walking in them, they're like, where did you get those? I need those. I can never find boots that fit me. I'm like, neither could I. So here we are.
Yeah, get your scissors out.
Literally cost me $4 to make, between the bit of fringe and then, you know, fabric glue is maybe $10 a bottle, and you only need a little bit.
Yeah.
Done. Easy.
So good.
I do love fringe. I have such an appreciation for it, and there's so much that you can do with it. So we picked up this denim jacket, but imagine if you put a little strip of fringe here, a little fringe over on this pocket, down the sleeves even, maybe across the back.
Cute.
I love that look. I feel like cowboy chic is really coming
love
in
that.
at the moment.
I have the best pair of cowboy boots that I've had for like 15 years. They're men's ones, and they're just like so beat up and so oversized. And it's funny, as you're talking, I'm noticing fringe behind you, so it's sort of anyway.
Meant to be.
It's meant to be.
I love it. But even, coming to the, fabric section or the section that has all of the old vintage sheets,
Yes.
why couldn't you get an old vintage sheet? And all you would have to do is trace the patterns in the clothes that's already there. So you don't have to know how to sew. You don't have to know anything about clothing compositions. You just trace the patterns and then just, cut out the same shape from a really cool print in a sheet or a Duna cover, and then just glue it on, fabric tape it on, and you've just got a really cool piece that no one else is going to have, and it just adds a little bit of spice
A little bit
to
of
your
something.
Yeah, exactly, to just a regular denim jacket.
Totally. Tip number 5. We're at the pointy end.
Yes, and so this is a tip that's not just for plus size women, but for everyone. And it's to not be discouraged. Sometimes you're going to go into an op shop and you're not going to find anything.
Totally.
Nothing's going to be your size, nothing will be your style, and you know what? Oh well, we try again. That's all that we can do, Sometimes you're only going to be able to look in the jewelry, footwear, accessory section. But you know what? That can still be a really cool opportunity to find something creative and beautiful and to really kind of elevate your outfits.
I totally agree. For me, accessories are the game-changing factor to an outfit. I love brooches, I love earrings, neck pieces, I love a great statement bag. I love scarves,
Yes.
belts. I'm so into all of those pieces because I feel like no matter your size, your shape, your gender, your age even, it's the thing that people will notice,
Exactly.
those little elements. And so I feel like it's such a good space to look, right?
Definitely, yes. And even we found this little scarf earlier that's kind of this lime green-y color.
gorgeous.
And it's also got a little bit of pink in it, so it's also giving a bit of Barbie core.
I'm so into that lately, which is groundbreaking for me, but I'm loving wearing color.
Love it. I obviously love a bit of color.
I love your color combinations that you do. You try different things together.
Yeah.
Orange and purple,
Yes,
or pink
yeah.
and green.
I feel like the easiest way to wear color is to add in, if you only wear all black, if you only wear all neutrals and you want to wear more color, the accessory section is going to be your best friend. Because, even if you're, imagine this, you're going to work, you've got your black pants on, your black top, your black coat. This, underneath your coat, imagine I'm in all black. But this just adds that little pop of color. Just a scarf, you can take it off if you're feeling uncomfortable in it. It's not a, key piece of your outfit. You can't take your shirt off at work. But you can take your scarf off and, try again with something else.
Yeah. Have you found that that's kind of helped you on your off days with thrifting? If you sort of have that moment of like nothing's fitting, or even in thrift stores you're not finding anything, that's what I'll do. I'll just go look at the accessories.
Yes.
And really think about how I can implement them. But then also too, for me, I feel like it doesn't always have to be about shopping, right? Or buying things, because thrifting for me sometimes can just be this really nice therapeutic experience.
Yes.
Where I'll just say to myself, I just want to be amongst the energy, and I'll go look for ideas.
Yes, exactly.
And then quite often that will spark something. So it's almost like this, don't be discouraged, but also practice detachment.
Definitely, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need to get something every single time you go. Like, it's not the same as a grocery store, that has a purpose that you're going there for. Sometimes you can just, see a piece and think, that's really cool. I'm going to keep that color combo in mind. Maybe scarves aren't your thing, but you love this pink and green color combo. Now you know for next time to go out and look for little pieces that might have those same colors in them. If I'm not finding something at op shops in the clothing or the accessories, sometimes I'll even look for pieces to upcycle other pieces. I've got a shirt that it's like a navy button-up shirt, and I just wanted it to be a bit more fun. So it's a very long project. It's taken me a while, but I've been sewing pearls onto it.
Oh, wow.
And all of the pearls that I've gotten have all been thrifted. And so
That's
and the top
amazing.
itself is thrifted as well. So the whole project is probably going to cost me a lot of time, but $7 maybe. You can
Wow.
find a fake pearl necklace or something that's a little bit more gaudy. I'll just take it all apart and sew the pearls on. And that was the reason for me being at the thrift that
I
day.
love
That's
that.
that's what I was meant to get.
Isn't she amazing?
I just love thrifting.
So inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I love sharing thrifting tips because, as a plus size woman, it's quite hard shopping and having a good experience regularly.
Yeah.
But, hopefully these tips help you and allow you to, find some really cool pieces and have a better relationship with thrifting and yourself and your style.
And where can the good people find you on social media? Tell them your Instagram, your TikTok, all those good things.
Yes, so my handle is whoever Annika is. So it's whoever ANNIKA is.
And I'll put everything up on the screen and in the description box as well. But thank you for joining us, and thank you, gorgeous girl.
Thank you.
We really had such a good time, and it was such a pleasure to hear all of your thoughts and your wisdom, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
gorgeous
you.
girl. Aw.
I'm so excited to see you in more color.
I know. I think meeting you is no mistake. Like,
Yes.
it's kind of taken me on this color journey.
Meant
so,
to be.
Yeah, stand by. See ya.